Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you are following us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Give us a 5-star rating. It massively helps us out. Enjoy.
That was my New Year's resolution. More football?
My New Year's resolution was to play more football because I didn't do enough of it last year. I think like, post everything that happened in the world, I never football was my main thing. It was what I would try and revolve my week around. Then really just got out the swing of it. You know, when life changed.
How did you deal with lockdown then?
Terribly,
if that's
terribly.
Anchor.
Yeah, really badly. But we left London. I wasn't working. Oh mate, it was. I think on my own, I'm very fortunate I'm very lucky. I don't have mental health issues. Touch wood. I mean, my wife might disagree, but time where it's got to be wood. Here we go. Right. But on my own scale, it was the worst I've ever been. It was terrible, man. I couldn't do anything. I had a beard. I don't have a beard.
You had a beard?
I had a beard. I had like a full on. There's some.
We need to get a photo of this summer.
Mate, I've definitely got some. I can send it to you. I had like a full on beard. I've got a rather impressive beard. Like you wouldn't anticipate me.
No, I reckon you could grow a naughty one.
Yeah, but also I'm not a beardy guy at all. Like part of like shaving is part of getting dressed. It'd be like going out topless.
Yeah.
Going out with a beard. You know, I get up, I go to the gym, I'll probably have a swim, a sauna, have a shave, crack on with day. As soon as you take, that's generally what. If my day's going as it should, that's what's happening.
Interesting.
But yeah, grew a beard, didn't work, had a nervous breakdown.
Really?
Bit. On my own scale, on my own very lucky scale, yeah, it was as bad as I've ever been.
Get out and do any exercise during lockdown?
Yeah, because I left London. We were living in prior until very recently, we were living in a 1-bedroom flat with a 2-year-old. Which was bad, mate.
Especially over lockdown when you're stuck inside 24/7.
Yeah, well, do you know what I found so infuriating? You know, when people were saying, and I totally understand why, and I totally respect that we had rules that had to be abided by. But you know, when you'd get somebody who was in a really privileged position, say for example, do you know, who's very loud about it? And I don't even disagree with the principle, but you're just not understanding someone else's situation. Say Piers Morgan, who lives in a really affluent area in Kensington in a beautiful house, I'm sure, with a garden, whatever. He'd go, we all have to stay in. We're not asking a lot from people. I'm like, bro, I can't, man. I haven't got a garden. I live a mile in the sky in a 1-bedroom flat with a toddler. You're not understanding. Like, it's not the same.
Yeah.
So it was really tough. And in the end, we had to go up to stay with my wife's family. My wife's not from London. She's from the northeast. So we went and stayed up with her family, who were wonderful, and you know, they've got a nice place. But then again, I was questioning, who the hell am I? I'm living in I've kind of prided myself on being from the borough of Camden and having shaves.
Is that where you're from?
Yeah, in the flat that we lived. So we were in the borough of Camden, so West Hampstead.
Okay.
But where West Hampstead and Swiss Cottage meet, South Hampstead, there's a little station called South Hampstead on a roundabout, which is kind of exactly where I'm from. But it was the flat that we had my daughter in. It's a flat that I got when I was young. So it was a wonderful flat for me. It was a nice enough flat for me and my wife for two. We throw a baby in the mix and it's like the worst thing in the world. You know, it's high up, you've got to walk up the stairs, can't get the buggy up, you leave the buggy downstairs, you're having an argument because somebody says the buggy's in their way. It's just like, oh my God, we're dying here. So then we went to the northeast, which made life a lot easier. But then I was having a nervous breakdown because I was on a farm in the northeast with a beard, unemployed, living in a 1-bed flat with a wife, very aware that I was unemployed with no, do you know, I don't know if you've ever done this, probably not. Have you ever tried to get a job, like a real job?
Yeah.
Have you? Yeah. Have you ever, you've had a life pre
I've had
this?
job interviews,
right.
yeah.
So
2.5 years at McDonald's.
So, yeah, I know that you did
Tesco's.
that actually. Yeah, right. So
I did bar work, waitering.
Right. Do you know what I had to do? I'd kind of been an actor, then I've been a bit of a chancer, then I'd done a bit of YouTube, and it all stopped. I got really unlucky, right? It just, also didn't make any luck, so it just all kind of went wrong. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to get a job. Spent a bit of time on LinkedIn. Done that? Oh
no.
My God. I tell you, do you know what I reckon? Do you know what I reckon? What is a great indicator, you know, like the litmus test for how good and lucky your life is? How much time you spend on LinkedIn. So if you're over on LinkedIn, it's a bad day. It's a really bad day.
Yeah.
And it got to the stage, right, where I was desperate for a job. I'm up in the northeast and I'm going on LinkedIn. I was like, right, come on now, you can do this. You can be a person, a proper person with a job. It goes, what do you do? Like, you've got to be something.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I've fallen at the first hurdle here. I'm nothing. Like, I don't have a thing. You know, like you have to go on and go, I'm an accountant, or I am a recruiter, or I am a...
To fulfill a job space that
to be
someone's
somebody.
looking for, yeah.
So whatever I am didn't exist. It was a terrible, terrible moment and terrifying. But then when we came back, it was about the September, things changed a bit. My friend Adam Boltwood, Adam was producing the kickoff. I was a guest on that a little bit more. Brian the True Geordie was kind enough to invite me on as a regular, and that's when it kind of switched a bit.
You got a bit more purpose and like...
Little bit more purpose, yeah, and...
What's that word? It's a regular thing.
Yeah, consistency. Yeah, purpose, consistency. I mean, to be totally frank, money. Yeah, that's where it changed. But there was 9 months of Clementine. From Clementine was born in January. They made me a regular in the October. I started doing it quite a lot when the season kicked off, August, September. So it started improving around then. Life generally. That was my. But I went January to the August, going, okay, I'm going to. You know, when you start, I don't know if you've ever done this, when you start like doing something mad things, you decide that you're something else. It's like, I might be a bricklayer.
This is a partial identity
I'm going to do the knowledge and be a
crisis,
cab driver. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm so nervous here. So it was manic.